And we journeyed into 10,000 amazing subscribers. You guys, thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys joining me on this video. So let's go ahead and see what we need for this dress. We're going to cut out 2 separate fabric for the top, that's for the upper parts, and this is as long as you want, so make that decision. Now the next thing is the band. We need a band to connect the top to the skirts, and this should be your round waist plus 1 inch for zip. Now the third thing we need is the 3 separate fabric for the skirts, and if you want the volume on this picture, just go ahead and make it your round waist times 3. And also we need 2 separate lining, and that is it. So getting started, for the volume of my own dress, I made it my round waist times 2 because I wasn't working with enough fabric. So I decided to make it my round waist times 2. Now this is the first fabric for the gathers. This is going to be the first layer, and this first fabric is 9 inches long. And then for the width, like I said, the width is my round waist times 2. If you want the volume on the picture, make it your round waist times 3 or more to get that volume. And then this is the second fabric I'll be working with. And this fabric, the length is 13 inches and the width is the same, my round waist times 2. So this is for the second layer of the gathers. And another thing, the second layer and the third layer of the gathers is the same length. So what I have here, or what I am working with, is the 9 inches long fabric, a 13 inches long fabric, and also another 13 inches long fabric. These are the lining I'll be using, and as you can see on the dress there is lining. For the first lining, this is 6 inches long, and then the width is my round waist times 2. So the lining depends on what's your layers of gathers, what you cut out for your fabric, the main fabric. So you cut out what you have on the main fabric on your lining. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect or sew this lining to the second layer of the gathers. So this is the second layer, one of the 13 inches. I'm going to go ahead and sew the lining to it. So you can decide to cut your fabric shorter and make your lining longer if you're not working with so much fabric. So I regretted not doing that. After making this video, I realized I could have done that. So this is the second lining, and the length is 11 inches, and the width is the same as the rest, my round waist times 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew the second lining to the third layer of the fabric. So I'll sew them together. Now this part is optional. If you are in a haste and you just want to make your dress, you cannot wait to meet or slay your dress, you can skip this part, but I would advise you not to. Take your time and make it come out really cute and neat. Don't rush. So yeah, if you want to skip this part, go ahead and skip this part, but I did it because I wanted to know what I'm working with. I wanted it to look flat and clean. So these are the fabrics, they're all ready. I'm just going to start placing the 3 fabrics together, and this is what I did. I placed the last layer, that's the 13 inches, one of the 13 inches, the longer fabric that is attached to the lining, the longer lining. I place it first, and then I'm going to place the second layer of the gathers on this, and then I'll place the first layer. I'll make sure that the all sit together at the top, not the base. So the base is where we want to see the difference in the length, but then the top is going to be together. So now on the top like this, I'm just going to sew a loose stitch, and this is it. So now to sew a loose stitch, if you're using an industrial machine, you set it to 5, you take it back to 5, but if you're using a manual machine, you take it down to 7 or 6. I think it's 6. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pull the thread gradually and gather this together. You guys remember that this fabric I'm trying to gather right now is the 3 layers of fabric. I've sewn them together, so they're all together. I did this loose stitch on the 3 of them, and I'm just going to gather them together. So I'm just going to place my tape like this to confirm my round waist plus zip allowance. So my round waist is 31 plus zip allowance, so I should be having 32. And then once I am done and I have confirmed, this is the band, and this should be your round waist plus 1 inch for zip allowance, and the length is 5 inches for me. I have 1 from the main fabric, I have 1 from the lining, and this is how I'm going to sew them together. I'm going to go ahead and place the gathered fabric between the lining and the main band fabric. Do you guys understand what I just said? So I'm just going to place it like this. I'll place the lining first, then place the gathered fabric second, and then I'll place the main fabric on top like this, making sure that it is the right side that is facing the right side of the gathered fabric, and then I'll go sew and turn this over. Now I am done. This is what your down piece or your base piece should be looking like, or your skirt piece. This is how it should look like. And if you're using the picture, if you're doing the volume on the picture, your gather should be looking fuller than this. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold this into 2 and mark the middle points, because this is going to help me attach the top part of this dress. So I just indicated the middle point, and as you can see, this is the point. And from the point, I'm just going to go sides by 8 inches. I'll go to the left by 8 inches, and then I'll go to the right by 8 inches. That's from the middle point. I'll mark 8 inches here, and then I'll mark 8 inches here. So this is the fabric for the upper part, that's for the top. And as you can see, theirs isn't that long. The length of theirs should be around 20 to 30 inches. But because I did not want to miss out on making this an infinity dress, so I can style it in so many ways, I made mine longer. I made mine 61 inches longer, but the width is 15 inches. So the width for me is 15 inches. But the length, how long this is 61 inches. So if you want to make it just a dress, you can use the 20 to 30 inches. But then if you want to make it an infinity dress, this is where you have to switch it up. I'm just going to go ahead and hem all rough edges on the fabric I'm using for the upper parts. I'm just going to hem here, I'll hem the sides, and I'll hem the top, leaving the base, because I'll use the base to attach to the skirt parts. So now I'm just going to go ahead and attach the upper part, that's the top part, to the skirts like this. I'm going to go in a bit by ½ an inch on the other side from the middle points, just to make sure that this lays together, like the two fabric lay a bit together, like ½ an inch together. And then this is one way you can attach the upper part to the skirt. You can fold your band by ½ an inch, fold in your band by ½ an inch while you pleat the upper part, that's the top fabric, and make sure it doesn't pass the 8 inches point you marked. And also the second way you can do this, you can place all fabric on the right side like this inside, and then you drag out your lining to meet the other part of the band, the main fabric of the band, and then you sew by ½ an inch. Just make sure that you pleat while you sew. This should be your result. Your dress should be looking like this if you follow those steps. Now I'm just going to go ahead and fold this into 2 so that I can mark out the points for my zip. That is where my zip will be stopping. And then I'm just going to place my tape like this and go down by 7 inches. Now that is the part I'll be sewing my zip in, and this is a zip. And then the rest I'm just going to sew in by 1/2 inch. And you guys don't forget to hem the base of your dress or your gathers. Thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of the video. I hope this was helpful. I hope this guide was simple and detailed. Let me know in the comment section, and let me know which of the volume you're using. You're using the one in the picture or you're using the volume on my dress. Let me know. I'll be seeing you guys on my next video. Amazing creatives. Bye for now.